Call to order regular meeting, the Goodyear City Council, April 26, 2010. Would you please join Councilmember Souza in the Pledge of Allegiance and invocation?
I pledge allegiance
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We ask that you bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we pray that you guide this council in its deliberations this evening for the betterment of all who live in this city. We ask that you protect the men and women employees of our city and the functions they perform for this community on a daily basis. We ask that you take into your arms those of our military who have given their lives to bring democracy to the countries of Iraq and Afghanistan. For those that remain, we bring them home safely as soon as possible. We pray also for our nation and its citizens during this time of financial difficulty. Let the crisis end and stability spread across our country. We ask all this in your name. Amen.
Thank you, Councilmember Souza. Councilmember Souza is a fractured leg. He's obviously in good spirits, but he couldn't make it to the meeting this evening. He will stay on the phone and he will participate in the meeting, however, so we don't need to excuse him. Therefore, all council members either are in attendance or otherwise available. Opportunity now to approve or ratify our expenditures, and it's accounts payable for March 2010. Do I have any comments, questions on the expenditures?
I move that we approve the expenditures as written.
Second.
A motion from Councilmember Cavalier and a second from Vice Mayor Lord. All those in favor signify by stating aye.
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 Opposed? The ayes have it. You in there, Dick?
I've got it.
Okay, 7-0. Communications, we do have an important item today on communications. I'd like to have an update regarding the Estrella Mountain Community College retention internship. And Paul, no, it's not Paul.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, it's our privilege tonight to hear from Estrella Mountain Community College. Maria Reyes is here, who is the Associate Dean for Occupational Education at Estrella Mountain Community College, as well as several students that have been a part of this program, which we're very excited about, that has been very helpful to us in connecting with our business community. So with that as an introduction, we'll turn the time over to Maria.
Thank you, Harry. Mayor, council members, thank you for having us here this evening to talk about our business retention internship program, where we partnered with several cities and our students to provide some information about business retention in a 4-city area that include Avondale, Goodyear, of course, Litchfield Park, City of Tolleson, and our Southwest Valley Chamber, as well as the college. And what we could do as a partner in the community to bring some information about business retention, help students learn about business retention, and see what other information we could gather from the businesses in the 4-city area, as well as what services the chamber offer, what the college offers, and how these things could bring to bear to help all of us in our continuing work within this community to serve these businesses, and what our students could learn as interns in the process, what we could help them understand about economic development, what they could learn about how cities run and what are important to cities, and what they could bring back to you in the form of information from these partners and from these businesses. With that, I will turn it over to our interns, starting with Adame, who will talk with you about what the student experience is in the Business Retention Internship Program.
First, I want to say my name is Adama Bedov. I'm a student at Estrella Mountain Community College. It's a pleasure to be a part of this great business retention internship program. We had a tremendous experience, and without further ado, I'm going to share with you our experience. Open doors. The students learned how to better communicate with people in the business world by practicing their interpersonal skills in the field. Relationships were built, and job opportunities and mentorship opportunities were presented themselves. Increased confidence. Increased confidence. The program gave students added confidence in their presentation and communication skills. Recognized as being part of a cutting-edge program. The program is a pilot program that is doing great things in the business community. Not only does this look good on our resume, the interns also had the ability to help in the current and future development of the program. Firsthand look into a world of business owner. An opportunity to see how businesses are run, how they succeed. Their perspective on the economy is information that the interns can use in their future endeavors and apply to future opportunities as well. Many of the students in the Business Retention Internship Program are aspired business owners like me. Hearing the negatives of owning your own business did not discourage them at all. Instead, they were excited to learn and be alerted of these issues in order to avoid them when opening their own business. Highlighted the effects of the community in the business owner. Through business retention interviews, the interns gained an understanding of how the economy is affecting the local business community. Created a connection with the community. The interns felt that through the program, connections has been formed between themselves, Estrella Mountain Community College, the businesses, and the local cities. Made a difference. The business retention program has put the interns in a position to help the business community and make a difference in the community as well. Learn the importance of small businesses. The interns uncovered the importance of small businesses as the lifeblood of our community, and also the opportunities the businesses have for support. Opportunity to learn and earn. Now, as a student, we all like to earn money while we're studying as well. And this was a great opportunity for myself. I was looking for an internship, and when this came along, I seized the moment. The program was not only hands-on learning, was not only a hands-on learning experience, but it was also a paid position, and the students received college credits as well. What can beat that? Survey overview. Creation of survey. Now, this was a challenging part. The interns were trained extensively by city representatives, economic development representatives, and staff from Estrella Mountain Community College on the Southwest Valley Chamber of Commerce, their partners, and the targeted businesses in the community, and how and what to expect from these businesses. Data collection. From training materials, the interns collected data, researched, and practiced on setting up appointments and how to conduct face-to-face survey. Overarching themes. Within the entire Southwest Valley Chamber, 40 businesses were interviewed. Some of the comments we heard for several of the businesses included some of these businesses had low commute times for the employees. They were receiving enough qualified applicants for the positions. They all had a general consensus that the economy is starting to recover, although they don't know when, but they are seeing changes. They would like to see more development, meaning more businesses and residential developments. And of course, the road construction is affecting everyone both residents and businesses. And now I would like to turn it over to Garrett on the City of Goodyear overview.
Hello, Mayor and council members. I'm here to explain the overview of Goodyear. As a team, we were given 50 business information of businesses in the city of Goodyear to provide or to call and potentially get interviews. Some of the businesses that we had were actually restaurants, retail stores, and even my favorite was a weapons ammunition corporation. So, out of the 50 that we were given, we were able to interview successfully 15 businesses to this date, but we do have further scheduled in the near future. An interesting tidbit is actually that your very own council member, Joanne Osborne of Osborne Jewelers, was one of our 15. So, of the 4 cities that we have of Avondale, Litchfield Park, Goodyear, and Tolleson, the businesses in Goodyear were actually the most cooperative, which resulted in having the most surveys done. After compiling all the information, we were able to have some overarching themes for the businesses in Goodyear. One of the first is that roadway issues pertaining mostly to the I-10 construction. They feel, although it is necessary, it does put somewhat of a burden on the accessibility for their customers. Another overarching theme is that the businesses feel that they are not allowed enough advertising and signage, and they feel that actually by lessening the stringent signage requirements, it could be really beneficial. Though most businesses in Goodyear feel that if they were asked if they would suggest businesses that come into their city, they would definitely recommend it. And also, businesses have stated that they are making a conscious effort to incorporate green products and green processes in their business operations. One of the main goals of our survey was actually to find what the city's businesses felt about their actual cities, what the strengths were. And in Goodyear, some of the strengths included that it is a positive community growth. It's easy access from the freeways despite the I-10 construction. It's a good community to live and work. The city itself is very business friendly, and it has a very strong labor force. Though, speaking of workforce, I feel that this is one of the most interesting and most important attributes that we actually found about the city of Goodyear. During these 15 interviews, we asked the companies to rate the workforce according to a 5-category choice, and 100% of the businesses ranked the availability of workforce along with the quality of workforce in the city of Goodyear for an acceptable or above rating. Now, to go further into our business retention and the surveys is Dave Berger. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm going to be covering the results of the actual city of Goodyear. Employees, 64% of the businesses surveyed said that 50 to 100% of their employees live 6 miles from the business location. The majority commute time for an employee was less than 15 minutes. This information shows that the Goodyear is creating an environment for their citizens to live as well as work. In addition, within the next year, 85% of the businesses reported they will either increase or have no change in the number of employees at their facility.
If you have PowerPoint, you might want to get PowerPoint.
Oh, thank you. Considering the economic hardships that many businesses are facing, this is a very good sign. The businesses were given a list of possible areas they could contribute to the local schools and colleges. This list included 10 areas of participation, and the businesses could choose multiple areas to contribute, of which the top 3 were 42% were interested in internship opportunities, 38% were interested in field trips to their businesses, and 25% were interested in sponsorships, assisting with student recognition, presentations, volunteering, and in general career day. Green practices. We asked the businesses if they have any plans to incorporate green practices into their businesses. An overwhelming 85% of the businesses said yes. In the areas of purchasing machinery, that's green, incorporating recycling practices, and investigating into solar practices. And the most impressive fact of all was that 93% of the businesses surveyed would recommend Goodyear as a location to other businesses based on stability, lots of opportunity for space and growth, highway availability, and good quality schools. A complete report will be delivered to the City of Goodyear by the end of May, and it will highlight our findings from the Business Retention Program and interviews with the Southwest Valley Chamber of Commerce in Goodyear. I'm going to pass off to Maria Reyes to finish up.
Thank you. Mayor, City Council members, I hope you've found that we've designed a program with your partnership and others that will provide students a real-world learning experience, all the way from their application process, which include interviews, full applications, to a class, to an academic experience, city council presentations such as this, which would provide them an insight to cities and how they work as well as businesses. We look forward to continuing this program in the future if with your partnership and others, and I know that Buckeye is looking to get involved in the next year, so that's version 2.0. We also are looking to use this model for a multi-level collaborative effort for other models in our college. Our sister colleges are also looking in the Maricopa District at how they can do this in their communities and with their neighboring cities. So we hope to provide that kind of a leadership role to those sister colleges as well. Next time, looking maybe to survey companies by business sector, just some ideas that we have, and we look forward to others as you might bring them forward. I would like to also acknowledge, Landis Elliott, who did serve as our faculty member for this class in the academic portion and has very connected in the West Valley, and she was a great leader to these students and to all. With that, I would open it up to any questions and ask the interns to join me as well to field any questions you might have.
Do you, would you like us to respond on the questions on the limitations to our businesses because of our signage policy? Would that be helpful in your report?
I think that what the businesses in your city are just asking is to have notification and maybe that there might be improvement, maybe less requirements. They say that the requirements are pretty hard to meet sometimes. So that I think mainly all they want is a little more maybe conversation with the city and potentially new requirements.
You have some?
No, anything to say. Thanks. Great presentation.
I had one question. Congratulations, you guys did a great job. Very good. I appreciate being part of the business survey. I was curious, the information that you received regarding the schools, what will you do with that information now, according to those businesses that would like to be part of the education system in some way, internship, whatever? What's the next step from there? No, you're going to give it to me.
Was Landis answering? Okay. And plus, we partner with many schools as well, so we will work with our partners to offer them those opportunities and identify businesses that would be interested.
No, it's great to hear 85% feel that they're going to be increasing in the next year. That's great news. Wonderful.
Okay, thank you very much.
I just want to say thank you. It was a nice report, and I did not know that this was going on, and I appreciate the information. I would like us to take it one more step, that if we do a hard copy of the In Focus, and that's up for question, that this might be an article that would be beneficial to have in it, since we were part of that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Opportunity now for any citizen to address the council on any subject not on this evening's agenda. Would anyone like to address the council on a non-agenda item? Seeing none, we'll move to consent, and I'll ask the city clerk to read A through I by title only, please.
Item A, approved draft minutes of a work session held on March 22nd, 2010, and a work session, regular meeting, and a special meeting held on April 12th, 2010. Item B, approve a request from George Atwell, representing Pebble Creek Golf Resort Homeowners Association Number 1, Inc., for a person and location transfer series 6 liquor license, number 060-70267, for Tuscany Falls Clubhouse, located at 16222 West Clubhouse Drive, Goodyear, Arizona, in the Pebble Creek community. Item C, adopt Resolution 10-1369, promoting fair housing. Item D, approve FY 1011 community funding distribution for nonprofits as recommended by City Council Subcommittee. Item E, 1, adopt Ordinance 10-1212, amending Chapter 4 of the Goodyear City Code by adding Article 4-4, unclaimed personal property, providing for severability and an effective date. Item E2, adopt Resolution 10-1370, declaring as a public record that a certain document titled Ordinance 10-1212, amending Chapter 4 of the Goodyear City Code by adding Article 4-4, unclaimed personal property, and filed with the city clerk. Item F, adopt Resolution 10-1371, authorizing the mayor to execute an intergovernmental agreement with the City of Avondale relating to transit services, providing for an effective date. Item G, adopt Resolution 10-1372, authorizing the mayor to execute an intergovernmental agreement between the State of Arizona for federal reimbursement for costs associated with the design of the Yuma Road Bridge at Bullard Wash. Item H, approve the issuance of a temporary easement agreement to Westcor Goodyear RSC LLC, an Arizona limited liability company, Westcor, and Globe Land Investors LLC, a Delaware limited liability company, Globe, for 4 underground pipes across city property to irrigate portions of the Estrella Falls Regional Shopping Center site. Item I, approve the issuance of an easement agreement for a driveway and bridge at the northeast corner of Indian School Road and Pebble Creek Parkway to provide access from Indian School Road to the proposed Pebble Creek Crossing commercial development.
Would anyone in the public wish to remove an item from the consent agenda? Would anyone on council wish to remove an item from the consent agenda? Could I have a motion to approve the consent?
So moved.
Second.
Motion from Vice Mayor Lord and second from Councilmember Pizzillo. Roll call vote, please.
Vice Mayor Lord,
Aye.
Councilmember Sousa,
Aye.
Councilmember Cavalier,
Aye.
Councilmember Osborne,
Aye.
Councilmember Pizzillo,
Aye.
Councilmember Loretano,
Aye.
Mayor Kavanaugh, passes 7-0.
Okay, we'll move right to information, an opportunity for council to brief the public on the current events. Dick, do you have anything?
No, I have nothing.
Okay.
We attended the volunteer appreciation. I want to thank all the volunteers.
No.
Yes, I also attended that, and it's just really rewarding to see all those volunteers. I attended the 2010 Purple Ribbon Symposium to Prevent Domestic Abuse. I'm going to let Frank talk about the symphony, but we were there at the symphony, and it was a wonderful experience. I just want to inform you of something, a trip that I've taken recently. I didn't say anything at the work session this last week. I did not attend the April 12th council meeting because from the 11th of April to the 14th, I traveled to Washington, D.C. as a part of the Greater Phoenix Economic Council executive mission to meet with congressional delegates and financial regulators and others. The mission consisted of an impressive delegation of around 50 people, and we were a cross-section of Arizona business community, elected officials, and government officials, and we were led by Governor Jan Brewer. Also in attendance was Attorney General Terry Goddard, which made it a very nonpartisan group attending that event. We were divided up into 5 different tracks of focus. We had aerospace and defense track, we had the business development track, we had the capital track, the media track, and renewable energy. I attended the Aerospace Defense Track, which consisted of 8 briefings at the Pentagon. And let me tell you, as a military wife, I have never been in a room and seen so many stars come in at one time, one after another. We were briefed by from the General Schwartz, the Chief of Staff of the Air Force on down, 6 generals in all. Our emphasis, what we were there for, was to show a united support for a support of the state for Luke in its candidacy for the F-35 program. Each of us had an outline of our objectives for the meeting. They were extremely impressed that a governor would come, and it's the first time a governor has appeared at the Pentagon before these generals, briefing them on a need for a state. There was much discussion taken during those briefings. I felt very positive about all the briefings, but I always think in that direction. But the one reminder they gave us was encroachment, that we must be sure we stay steady on that and do not let any more encroachment happen to the area. They talked a little bit about the Goldwater Range and the pluses that we have with the auxiliary field and the training that we can do there. The concerns they had probably along with encroachment was air quality. So just to give you, I won't go into more detail on this, they expect the ice early spring 2010, the final decision late 2010 or early 2011. And just on a sidebar, we asked them about the community, and they felt very strongly about the Luke Air Force community outside the fence line. They said they were extremely pleased how supportive the communities, all the surrounding communities are for the families at Luke, and I think that said a great deal. We talked a little bit about education, and I had never heard that brought up before, but one of the points that one of the generals brought up was that when young people have to change schools, and I can tell you my older daughter went to 11 different schools. So when you're transferring credits to a school, it makes it somewhat difficult. And the focus they used as an example was a state history course. So say the child's coming from Langley Air Force Base and they've been there a few years. Well, they've taken Virginia history. So now they get transferred in their junior or senior year, and guess what? They got to take time to take Arizona history, and that takes away from credits they need in another subject matter to enter the university. So they looked for help in that direction. But I thought that was kind of an interesting sidebar, one we would never think about on relocation and getting the F-35 at our base. But overall, I know, Mayor, you've been involved in this from the very beginning, and you know about everything there is to know about this. I left there, as well as everybody did, with a very positive feeling that we have a really good chance of possibly getting this. So anyway, I thank the GPAC, and I thank the city for allowing me to go on that trip, and it was certainly well worth it.
Thank you.
I guess I'm supposed to say something about the symphony, but this year's concert was double the enrollment, they tell me. Julie Richard, from the executive director of the Arts Council, informed me that the number of people was almost twice what it was last year. Of course, we had a poor turnout last year, but I think this will increase. I still like to see this thing go back to Estrella Mountain Ranch, but the point is, it's here, and it's good, and it was a great concert. And if you weren't there, you missed a lot of good music. So anyway, I enjoyed it very much because this young man that was conducting was, I guess he was almost like a new Lockhart from Boston Pops. Maybe that's what he's trying to be, but he's very talented, and he did a great job. So the symphony is, of course, as great as it always was.
Well, I think the thing that was so unique is he designed the concert around the stadium. He used music that had to do with baseball.
Well, he went beyond that, though.
Well, he did go beyond it, but he took classical music, and then he brought it around and to that degree. And I thought it was very cleverly done. So I agree. I liked it.
I was in Disneyland. I said I was in Disneyland. I was with Goofy.
Okay, Mr. City Manager, do you have any items for us?
The only item I have this evening, Mr. Mayor, is I'd like to ask the council if it be convenient to meet start at 4 o'clock next Monday, start a little earlier since we're going to spend more time, if that's okay.
Good by me.
Dick, is that okay?
Wendy, yeah, that sounds fine.
Okay, well, thank you. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thanks. Any inquiries of staff by council?
No.
Meeting adjourned.